Howdy folks, Tex Grebner here with Tex Grebner Outdoors. New videos every Saturday, so if you don't want to miss out on your Tex Grebner Outdoors Saturday morning cartoon awesomeness, make sure to click subscribe and check my channel every Saturday for new videos. I love reading your comments and I really do appreciate all of you that watch. Today I'm going to show you how to set up a Cajun fish stick, and I'm going to show you how I plan to set up my Cajun fish stick. The Cajun fish stick comes with pretty much everything you need to get you started, but I've also got a couple of tweaks on the design that are going to make it a lot more user-friendly. It does come with a Bowfishing arrow, it comes with a wheel rest, and it comes with finger guards for your string. The first thing that I did was pull those darn things off. I don't believe in using finger guards, and this bow is such a rock solid bulletproof design that comes for about $150. You could hunt deer with this thing, and I will show you once I get this put together just how well it actually shoots targets. As opposed to using the wheel type rest that comes with it, I spent $15 extra and I got one of these NAP wire flipper rests. So to put this together, you're going to want to take your limb bolts and put them in first. Just get one started. Hold the bushing up and then slide in your limb rocker. Generally speaking, with recurve bows, the bow limb that is not marked at poundage is the one that you would actually put on the top limb. Now these limb rockers have got nubs on them that actually fit into the limbs themselves, which keep them from torquing. They give you an Allen wrench, and you don't have to worry about getting these like super tight, but you do want to make sure that you use the long end and twist them down good. Now time for the bottom limb. So at this point, limbs are on the bow, tightened down. It does come with a good quality bowstring, but I do not like these finger guards because they limit the usefulness. Little loop always goes on the bottom limb. Now you could string it up like this and look like a doofus, but this string needs some brace height or you're going to be slapping yourself in the wrist, and you're also not going to get as much power out of your bow. So you're going to want to twist it about 15 times, or however many times it takes to get this loop about 6 inches down from the knock here on the end. Now I'm just going to stand up and carefully string this bow. And literally, the rule of thumb here is that you want to actually be able to spread out in the hang loose sign, touch your pinky or your thumb to the bow, or I'll do it like this, touch your thumb to your bow and have that string right there, possibly past your pinky finger. What this is going to do is it's going to give you enough brace height to make sure that you don't hit yourself in the wrist, but it's also going to make sure that you get all the power in this bow. I have put this bow on the scale at 28 inches and at 8 inches of brace height, and I'm pleasantly surprised because this bow actually scales out at 50 pounds, even though the limbs are marked at 45 pounds. But speaking of the string, I use a brass knocking point. So if you've got your wheel rest on, again, I use an NAP flipper, but if you've got your wheel rest threaded into your riser and straightened out, by the way that you would actually tune one of these rests fast and dirty is take 2 nails, hang the bow up from the 2 nails, and then twist your rest in until the arrow hangs down flush from the string using the plumb bob principle. So I'm not a fan of the Cajun safety slider, so I've got an AMS safety slider here. Just going to take a Phillips head screwdriver, turn this screw on out, slide that safety slider off, take my AMS style slider, slide it down over, put my screw back in. So now I'm just going to tighten this back down. But this Cajun point is a darn good bow fishing point, and you don't actually have to trade out for an AMS style slider. Cajun and AMS don't know me from Adam, so you can trust what I'm telling you to do. But we've got the bow together, we've got it strung up, we've got brace height in it, and you can have a bow shop set it up for you and tune it up for you. But in my case, if you're like me and you do stuff at home, you're going to need a knocking point pliers, and you're going to need some knocking points, and obviously you're going to need one of these flipper rests if you really want to get the most out of this Cajun fish stick. But if you want to use the wheel rest that comes with it, you're going to want to turn this set bolt in all the way, thread it into your riser until when you've got this hanging from 2 nails straight up and down, that you actually have your arrow hanging right in that groove. And then you're going to want to take a wrench and cinch this down carefully against the riser so that it won't wobble loose or walk around on you. But it comes with one of these drum style bow fishing reels, which is fine, and I did in fact make a video on how to make a drum style reel at home. That just twists into the riser just like this. Then turn that nut down. Get a pliers or your wrench that you use to set your rest with, and cinch that down, and you're good. You've got an arrow, you've got a drum reel, you've got a recurve that's got set with brace height. You're pretty much golden. Now, I mentioned using a flipper rest instead of the wheel rest, and a brass knocking point instead of the finger rollers, because these are just regular carbon arrows with feathers on them. But with the flipper rest, you can also use blazers or 4-inch plastic vanes. For $150 for this bow fishing kit, plus some incidentals like getting this flipper rest for $15, twisting up your string to put some brace height in it, you literally are into a bow that is worthy of actually deer hunting with. So in theory, you could buy one of these bows in the summer, bow fish with it all summer, and then next summer, bow fish with it all summer, and then take it to the deer woods in the fall. you are really getting your money's worth when it comes to this Cajun fish stick. 3 in the 10, but I'll prove it. Now keep in mind, I'm not setting any distance records here, but 3 arrows in the 10 ring, and all I've changed about this is, instead of using that wheel rest, I spent $15 on an NAP flipper, and I put on a brass bead on my string, and so you're literally under $200 and you're in archery, man. What more could you ask for? Now, I do not like the drum style reel, so now I'm going to show you how to get even more awesomeness out of this by putting on an AMS Bowfishing retriever. So here's my completed setup. $150 buys you an AMS Bowfishing retriever kit. That's going to come with 2 arrows. But you don't need 2 arrows because they're extras, because the Cajun fish stick actually came with a bowfishing arrow. But it comes full of line, and you get the retriever, 2 arrows, and the line. $15 buys an NAP flipper rest. I've traded out the finger rollers for a brass knocking point that's going to help me shoot accurately with it with regular carbon arrows when I'm not bow fishing. So I'm really getting a hell of a lot out of this package for the $300 or $350 that you would be spending to get an AMS kit along with the Cajun fish stick kit. And this drum style reel will work. But as you saw, I actually traded out the safety slider on this Cajun arrow from this Cajun slider to the AMS, because the AMS has 2 tie-off points. Gonna take my bow fishing line, wet the line, and run it through one eye. Wet it again, run it through the other eye, and now, see how I've got a good long tag end here. I'm just going to take that, lay my arrow down, and I'm going to make a loop. Now from the bottom side, I'm going to run through the loop, and then I'm going to run right over top of this one, and then pull it back through the loop. And this is going to create a bowline knot that will not slip. Now you notice how I tied this extra long like this. That is so that when your arrow flies, that the line is coming out directly behind it, so it's not going to be kicking one way or the other. That's going to be very helpful in accurate shooting at fish over longer distances and hitting bullfrogs. But there isn't anything at all wrong with the Cajun setup as it comes to you with the wheel rest and the drum style reel. But as it comes, you're definitely going to want to twist up your string to where you've got enough to where you're saying hang loose between your riser and your string. But right now, in theory, if I didn't already own the AMS kit, right now, with this flipper rest, rather than the wheel rest, I've got a perfectly serviceable recurve bow that I'm now $150 for this setup, plus $15 plus arrows, bowfish all summer, hunt deer in the fall, and turkey in the spring if you're good enough. So I hope this video is helpful to you in showing you how to set up a Cajun fish stick to not only do it my way, but get the most out of it. Now this is kind of a mutant because I've got AMS gear on here, NAP gear, and it's a Cajun bow. So I'm not making any friends in the archery industry, but by God, I've got $300 invested in a piece of equipment that's damn near bulletproof. As always, God bless all my sportsmen of America. Join the NRA to protect our rights. Please got my friends over at SOETacticalgear.com. Thank you very much to those of you involved in law enforcement and those of you serving in the military. And thanks for watching Texas Grebner Outdoors.